This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
The time now is 4:27 here on your Friday morning. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm Meredith Barrick. Marion County enters stage 4 today, finally catching up with the rest of the state for the governor's Back on Track plan. This means bars, clubs, movie theaters, bowling alleys, live music venues, entertainment and tourism sites can reopen, but only at 50% capacity. Houses of worship, restaurants, they can open at 75% capacity. And public gatherings can now be up to 250 people. There is a full list of the stage 4 changes on our website at theindychannel.com. And as we head into our weekend, we want to catch up with meteorologist Todd Clausen to see what our weather is going to be like.
You know, Meredith, the heat is on. These temperatures will be close to 90 today. We don't get there today. We should be able to get there, I think, during the day tomorrow. So it's going to be a hot weekend right when the official start of summer arrives tomorrow. But our rain chances are also going to go up as the weekend progresses. Today is another dry day for us. As you see in the center of your screen, Storm Team 6 radar is a nice and quiet. And temperatures this morning are sitting in the 60s and near 70 in Indianapolis, 69 officially right now at the airport here in Indy. So it's hot and sunny today, about 89 degrees. It's a touch more humid, but not too bad. But with the temperatures near 90, make sure you drink plenty of water. I do think, just like yesterday in the far eastern portion of the state, there's a small chance of an isolated shower developing later on this afternoon. We'll talk more about that and when the better rain chances return over the weekend coming up in just a little bit. Meredith.
Todd, thank you. Today is Juneteenth. This is a day that celebrates the end of slavery in the U.S. when Union soldiers arrived in Texas and told slaves of their emancipation. Amid the Black Lives Matter movement, more organizations and businesses are celebrating the holiday, giving many of their employees the day off today. We'll have more on what companies are recognizing this holiday and how people around Indianapolis will be recognizing it as well. And finally, take a look at this good boy. This is our Good News Friday story for today. He is retiring. This is Torado, who is a TSA dog. You might have seen him at the airport a time or two. Oh, he just gets the best send-off ever. We're going to have a little bit more on what he's up to here and what his plans are for now that he is done working at the airport. We've got that great story coming up, plus much more news, weather, and traffic to kick off your Friday morning.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 4:30, Marion County is taking another step towards reopening with stage 4. We'll show you the businesses and entertainment spots opening their doors starting today. The city of Anderson is addressing the use of force after this video surfaced on social media. What the mayor says will be done to make changes going forward. And today is Juneteenth, and for many companies, this is the first time they will be recognizing the holiday, the meaning of the day, and the actions they are taking to show support and solidarity. 4:30 on your Friday morning. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Meredith Barrick. Lauren Casey has the morning off, and meteorologist Todd Clausen is joining us. Todd, we are saying farewell to spring and hello to summer, and the temperatures are proving summer is here.
Yeah, you know, it feels like summer arrived a long time ago, but not officially, Meredith, until tomorrow. 4:43 Saturday afternoon is when you can kind of ring that bell and welcome the summer solstice into your home. Temperatures this morning are sitting in the 60s in almost all locations. 69 in Indianapolis, 68 in Martinsville, 65 in Bloomington, as well as Connorsville, and to the north, Tipton currently at 64 degrees. From downtown to the north, you notice visibility not an issue whatsoever here this morning. There's been some high thin clouds out there, but they're in the process of thinning out. And as I expand out, you notice that central Indiana is really just wedged between two weather systems. We have that upper level low off to our east, which has been giving us a little bit of cloud cover in the afternoon. And then we have storms off to our west. The storms off to our west will continue to diminish, and we may see a little bit of cloud cover at times from them, but that should thin out as well. And overall, it's another sun-filled day for us. us. But look at the temperatures, running a little bit warmer today. 85 degrees already by the noon hour, with high temperatures close to 90 in Indianapolis. I would not be surprised if some locations, especially off to the west and to the southwest of Indy, do get to 90 today. If we don't get there today, better potential tomorrow. We'll talk more about that weekend forecast for you, Meredith, coming up in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. Let's take a live look right now at I-65 at the North Split. Not too many cars and trucks out there to start your Friday morning. We'll update you should any issues arise on the roads. This morning, Marion County officially taking the next step toward reopening. The county is joining a majority of the state in stage 4. This means bars, clubs, movie theaters, bowling alleys, live music venues, entertainment and tourism sites will be allowed to operate at 50% capacity. That also includes zoos and museums. Houses of worship and restaurants can increase their capacity to 75%, and public gatherings up to 250 people will be allowed. You can find a full list of the stage 4 changes on our website, theindychannel.com. The state is still on track to enter the stage 5 of the reopening plan on the 4th of July. And here's a look at the latest coronavirus numbers in Indiana. The State Department of Health confirmed 584 new cases. That is the highest number of daily reported cases since late May. 15 new deaths were also confirmed, bringing the death toll in the state to more than 2,300. We're told a testing facility just got electronic reporting, and that may account for the rise in cases. More than 384,000 people have been tested so far. More schools are releasing their plans to resume classes in the fall. In Morgan County, 4 public school districts say they will begin in-person classes as scheduled. That includes Martinsville, Mooresville, Eminence, and Monroe-Gregg. They say all students and staff will be required to have a mask with them at all times. Water fountains will be used to only fill water bottles, and lunches will be adjusted to CDC guidelines. All field trips will also be suspended. Brownsburg and Bloomington schools have already announced that they will return in the fall as well. The mayor of Anderson says he supports body cameras and dash cameras on police after a video surfaced of an officer using a chokehold during an arrest. We first showed you this video Tuesday that was shared on social media. The man being arrested, Spencer Neese, is accused of resisting law enforcement. The incident happened Saturday, 2 days after the city announced police would not be allowed to use chokeholds to make an arrest or control a person in custody. The officers involved are on administrative leave, and an internal investigation is now underway. Mayor Thomas Broderick Jr. addressed the video, saying force should not be the first thing officers consider in these situations.
We want to make sure that we take steps to speak with folks, to do everything we can to de-escalate a situation, and only use the most minimal force when needed, and never go to an excessive force situation.
The city plans to purchase the body cameras as early as this year. Mayor Broderick also said they are reaching out to local groups to help improve community policing efforts. Many in Indianapolis are continuing to make their voices heard about racial injustice. Members of a Southwest Side neighborhood took to the streets last night to bring to light issues in their own backyard. Those involved say parts of the city, like Mars Hill, are not very diverse. Elder Tyree Coleman organized the protest after he says an interracial couple moved into the area and received a less than warm welcome.
This is happening still today, and it shouldn't happen. You know, the police is called on them for false reasons. They're constantly being harassed when they leave their home, come back to things broken and vandalized, and it just shouldn't happen.
Others joined in to show support for the couple and others experiencing similar discrimination. Organizers say they are planning more protests in the area, possibly every week. In Atlanta, the officer charged with the murder of Rashad Brooks is expected to be in court later today. The other officer involved in that case is now speaking out on what happened that night. ABC's Alex Perche has more from Washington.
Stark images of 2 police officers. A week ago, Officer Garrett Rolfe was on the force. Now, out of a job, later today, he'll face a judge.
The first charge is felony murder.
The 27-year-old is facing 11 charges, including murder, for shooting and killing Rashard Brooks in a Wendy's parking lot. He's being held without bail. His former partner, 26-year-old Devin Brosnan, is accused of aggravated assault. This is him yesterday leaving jail on a $50,000 signature bond.
I'm looking forward to cooperating with any investigators.
He spoke on MSNBC with his attorney describing the beginnings of that encounter with Rashard Brooks.
I felt he was friendly. He was respectful. I was respectful to him. And I felt like, he seemed like someone who potentially needed my help. And I was really just there to see what I could do for him and make sure that he was safe.
The officers determined Brooks was drunk, and when they tried to put him in handcuffs, he refused, and it got physical. Seen wrestling with one of their stun guns. When he reached back and pointed it towards Garrett Rolfe, Rolfe fired 3 shots, killing Brooks.
The city of Atlanta says you cannot even fire a taser at someone who's running away, so you certainly can't fire a gun, a handgun, at someone who is running away.
The shooting sparked anger for days in a city already dealing with unrest from recent police killings across the country. Supporters of the officers say the shooting was justified and accuse the city of buckling under political pressure. Police across the city have been calling in sick. The official line from the department is that the numbers are small, saying we have enough resources to maintain operations and remain able to respond to incidents.
Our job is ugly to start with, and now you face the chance of, at best, spending the rest of your life in prison without parole.
The Fulton County District Attorney says he won't seek the death penalty against Garrett Rolfe in this case. Now, as for whether or not Rolfe's former partner will testify against him, the DA says he expects Brosnan to follow through with what he's already promised. Alex Perche, ABC News, Washington.
Today marks Juneteenth, the day that celebrates the end of slavery in the U.S. when Union soldiers arrived in Texas and told slaves of their emancipation. Amid the Black Lives Matter movement, more organizations are celebrating the holiday. That includes Fortune 500 companies like Uber, Target, JCPenney, Google, Twitter, and Nike. Sports leagues and teams like the Colts, the NFL, and NBA also announced they are recognizing the day. General Motors is marking today by asking workers to stop work for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. That is the length of a time a white Minneapolis police officer knelt on George Floyd's neck before he died. And tonight, an ABC News special is looking at the legacy of Juneteenth and examining its symbolism in the Black community and our nation. A team of correspondents in The View's Whoopi Goldberg will feature the celebrations across the country, as well as stories of overcoming injustice. The special Juneteenth, A Celebration of Overcoming, airs tonight at 8 right here on RTV6. More people are raising concerns over President Trump's decision to hold a campaign rally in Oklahoma this weekend. Coming up, why health experts say the spread of coronavirus is an especially big threat right now in Tulsa. And the SEC and NCAA say Mississippi may not be able to host college playoff games because of its flag. Still ahead, how the state is responding to the possible ban. Todd.
And Meredith, is pretty quiet right now across central Indiana. We're sandwiched between 2 storm systems. If you look at our satellite radar picture, we have a line of storms off to our west, and we also have some scattered showers off to our east. So as we go throughout the day, I'll let you know if any of these showers are going to impact your plans for this Friday, and we'll talk about the heat that is set to build in as well. The time now is 4:39. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV6. Stay with us. We're back in just a couple minutes.
Only on RTV6.
President Trump heads to the Sooner State for a weekend campaign rally. Tens of thousands of people are expected to attend, and that has health officials concerned about the coronavirus. John Lawrence has the latest.
Keep America great. Gotta stick to our guns.
President Trump gets back on the campaign trail, and some of his supporters have been waiting in line for days.
The eyes of the world is upon Tulsa, Oklahoma, during this event, and we are ready for it.
The president's rally will be inside the BOK Center on Saturday.
That's a tremendous honor for our city to be highlighted in that way, and I'm very grateful that the president would select Tulsa to highlight in that way.
Several people are worried the event will spread coronavirus.
Tulsa just had a record number of cases. In the last week, the number of COVID-19 cases in Tulsa is up 111%.
Tulsa's health director, Bruce Dart, told the Tulsa World newspaper that he wishes the rally was postponed until the threat eases.
The potential for the virus to take off there is very, very nerve-wracking and could have catastrophic consequences.
Those who have registered have agreed not to sue the Trump campaign and other entities if they catch the virus.
If you don't feel well, don't go. If you have a fever, don't go.
Those who attend will have their temperatures taken before they enter. They will be given hand sanitizer and masks, but no mandate to wear them. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Trump is also facing pushback on a social media ad. A campaign ad featured a symbol once used by Nazis. It has been removed from Facebook. The red upside-down triangle displayed was used by Nazis to designate political prisoners, communists, and others who were in concentration camps. A Trump campaign official defended it by saying it's commonly used by Antifa, which is what the ad was about. Antifa is a far-left group that Trump has blamed recent looting and rioting on. Facebook said the symbol violated their policy against organized hate and would take the same action anywhere it's used on its platform. The countdown is on in Milwaukee as they prepare to host Joe Biden's Democratic presidential nomination. The city literally has a billboard saying 59 days till the Democratic National Convention. That's where the former vice president will accept the presidential nomination. Organizers say right now the plan is for the nomination to take place August 20th. The event will be scaled back and much of it will be digital. Amy Klobuchar is removing herself from consideration to be Biden's running mate. In talking to MSNBC, the Minnesota senator said Biden should pick a woman of color as his vice president, citing national unrest over racial injustice. Klobuchar said she called Biden to tell him on Wednesday. Some of the top contenders for VP are California Senator Kamala Harris, Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, and Florida Representative Val Demings. Mississippi's state flag may keep them from hosting Division I championship games. The Southeastern Conference says it's considering banning the games unless some changes are made to the state's Confederate-based flag. The NCAA has backed this decision by saying it won't schedule any postseason events in the state. Mississippi is the only state left that includes the Confederate emblem on its flag. The governor says whether to resign the flag should be left to voters. An election in 2001 asked that very question, and the flag was voted to stay. Here at 4:46, let's check in with meteorologist Todd Clausen. We are leaving spring in the rearview mirror, Todd, and we are looking straight at summertime.
And summer is going to arrive with some heat, Meredith, and some more humidity. You know, this week's been warm. We've been in the 80s all week long, with the exception of Sunday when we were in the 70s. The humidity, though, has been very, very low. That, too, though, is going to start to come up here in the coming days. So as you get you out the door on this Monday morning, it's a dry start for us. But temperatures today are going to warm very, very quickly. In fact, we'll go from where we are right now at 69 degrees, probably into the mid-80s already by the noon hour, with skies that are going to be partly cloudy. And here's a live look outside right now. You can't really see a whole lot with the sun not coming up yet, but in just about a half hour or so, those skies will start to brighten just a little bit. 69 in Indianapolis, 67 in Muncie. Southern locations here are down about 65 in Bedford, and Greensburg. 68 is the current temperature as you make your way into the Bloomington area. There's been a little bit of high thin cloud cover out there, and as we expand out, you can see off to our west, we are dealing with some thunderstorms. We don't have to worry about those storms impacting us. And as far as the clouds go that are trying to spill into the state, they're going to kind of just fade away, especially once the sun comes up, at least initially, and then we'll just build in those partly cloudy skies during the afternoon hours. And TrueCast is trying to paint the chance this afternoon of an isolated shower. Can I rule it completely out? No, but I think there's so much dry air out there that these showers are really going to have a hard time getting going across the area. But don't be shocked maybe if there's a quick sprinkle in your neighborhood, but it's going to be very light and it's going to be very quick. But here's those temperatures: 85 by the noon hour, near 90 later on this afternoon. I do think some areas probably do get to the 90-degree mark later on today, especially the further west and southwest you are from Indianapolis. Temperatures this evening still really, really warm. If you have dinner plans on this Friday night, temperatures will be in the 80s. And then looking ahead to tomorrow, tomorrow's still a dry day, I think, for us. Partly cloudy skies, a high temperature right around 90 degrees. The humidity starts to come up tomorrow. I think that's when you're really going to start to notice it across the area. And then once we get to Sunday, that's when we'll have the better potential, I think, of at least getting some storms in here. And you can see Saturday, it's not out of the question. There could be a stray storm or two, but Sunday's definitely the better day of storms, unfortunately, for Father's Day, but it's not a washout. Don't cancel that tea time or any grilling plans you may have with Dad. And then Monday, some spotty storms. They become more numerous as the front comes through on Tuesday. And then as we get to the middle and end of next week, it looks pretty quiet with cooler temperatures into the low 80s. Meredith?
Todd, thanks. We're taking a live look right now at I-465 at West 56th Street. Just a few cars and trucks out there to start your Friday morning. No issues on the roadways right now. Robots are the latest technological tool working to reduce the risk of COVID-19 at the airport. This robot, called the Breezy One, just started working at the Albuquerque International Sunport. It operates autonomously and can decontaminate a 100,000 square foot space in about 90 minutes. The robot's creators say the disinfectant it uses is registered by the EPA and has been tested and approved by multiple government agencies. The director of aviation for the city of Albuquerque hopes it eases some concerns about flying.
Here with robots, we actually have the whole facility mapped out, and we can see what it's done, what it hasn't done, how long it took the robot. And so we're actually able to guarantee the customer and the passenger that these spaces that they're touching in the airport are getting disinfected on a nightly basis.
She says the airport's custodians have been part of the process of bringing on the robot and that it's not replacing any of them. Instead, it's making their job safer and letting them focus on other tasks. The robot's creators are in talks now to place them inside a large factory in the U.S. that's currently disinfecting by hand. Dr. Anthony Fauci is telling NFL fans, quote, football may not happen this year. Fauci is warning about a second wave of COVID-19, but the NFL seems more optimistic. They say they're getting ready to play this season as scheduled with safety measures like a testing program. But Dr. Fauci says in part, quote, unless players are essentially in a bubble and are tested nearly every day, it would be hard to see how football is able to be played this fall. Players are set to begin training camp at the end of next month. The regular season is set to kick off September 10th. The Hollywood Walk of Fame is still set to get some new stars. The selection panel announced its new additions for 2021. They include stars for television, movies, and music. Among the list of this year's celebrities are actor Benedict Cumberbatch, Friends star Courtney Cox, and actor Zac Efron, and singer Kelly Clarkson. A total of 35 stars will be installed next year. After the break, a story of hope, how a local hospital is celebrating COVID-19 survivors with a special tribute.
These are more than just racks. From the shirts, to the pants, to the ties, how this space creates success. I'm Rafael Sanchez. That's our coming up on RTV6.
Get rallies delivered.
The State Department of Health does not list COVID-19 recoveries, but a local hospital is honoring its surviving coronavirus patients with this colorful tribute.
Having the COVID virus is a serious health threat, but we have saved so many. They should not lose hope. They should be encouraged and know that our caregivers are here for them to provide this care.
That's the message Franciscan Health wants to send with this display. Each of these nearly 300 pinwheels represent a COVID-19 patient who has been discharged from the hospital. One of the hospital's own knows what it's like to catch and recover from the virus. Emily Kornprobst is a nurse at Franciscan. She spent 3 weeks in quarantine after being diagnosed with COVID-19 in mid-March. But the health scare did not scare her away from getting back to doing the job she loves.
I feel very hopeful. I feel very blessed to have survived the virus and then to be able to give back, to continue to give back and work in the emergency department, taking care of those patients that aren't as fortunate.
The CEO of Franciscan Health is encouraging the community to continue wearing masks and social distance to avoid another COVID-19 patient surge. Here ahead of our 5 o'clock hour, let's check in with Todd Clausen.
All right, Meredith, you know the temperatures continue to climb a little bit each day here, and today's no exception. 89 your high temperature, but the humidity doesn't really come up a whole lot throughout the day today. That is the good news. Tomorrow, 90 degrees. If we get there potentially the first time this year, and how about that? It would arrive on the summer solstice, the first day of summer. Tomorrow still mainly dry. There's just a small chance of a stray storm tomorrow afternoon or evening. Better storm chances on Sunday, Monday, and then especially on Tuesday of next week with a high temperature of 83 degrees and then cooler for Wednesday and Thursday. The time now is 4:57. You're watching Good Morning Indiana. We're just getting started. Stay with us. We'll see you at the top of the hour.